Hello, everybody. Melanie here from Mel's Inky Fingers. Whew, I don't normally go live on Mondays. I'm going to give everyone just a minute to find me so that I can share my exciting news. I have been posting that I had something exciting to share with everybody, and I'm so happy that it's finally time that I can let you know what I've been working on. So hello and welcome. Happy Monday noon. I hope that you're ready to tackle today and the rest of your week. And hopefully this will bring a little bright spot to your day. Mondays are kind of rough, aren't they? So when you jump on, say hello and let me know you're here. Hi, Tammy. Welcome. Thanks for jumping on. I seem to have a little trouble here with my connection, so hopefully you're able to see and hear okay. I'm trying to open up comments. Oh, good. It looks like I finally can double check. Awesome. Yay. All right. So hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I have to keep myself from saying happy Friday. I'm used to going live on Fridays. Hi, Joan. Welcome and thanks for stopping in. Joan is joining all the way from Washington and Tammy from California. So good morning. Hi, Colleen. Welcome and thanks for hopping on this morning. I'm just going to give everyone a minute or so to find me, and then I'm going to dive in with my exciting news that I finally get to spill the beans on. I've been working on this for a little while, so it's exciting to finally get to share it. So I can't say good morning, although it is kind of good morning for many of you still. So welcome and happy Monday. All right. So I have been kind of fine-tuning things here and pulling in some new programs that I can offer you as my customers. And I think it's always important to look at what we have going and offer fun and exciting things that help you be creative and make it easy to do so. So I am very excited to announce I am bringing back my monthly classes. So I am launching Creatively Inked. Creatively Inked is going to be my curated DIY monthly paper crafting kits. This is going to be a subscription that I'm going to be offering, much like before, but better, way better. So each month you will receive your Creatively Inked kit in the mail from me to create your projects with everything in it that you need to complete your projects other than your inks and your basic tools. So let's talk about how Creatively Inked is going to look. So each month you are going to receive your kit, which will provide instructions and supplies to create 5 projects. I am also going to include a 6th project, but it's going to be completed and ready for you to share with someone special. You can use this to help guide you to recreate it, and this bonus project will be included in the tutorial. So you will have very detailed step-by-step instructions to recreate your bonus project with your 5 kit projects. Each kit will include about $20 in Stampin' Up! Product, and you will use that product to complete your projects, and you will have some extra to continue to create after you have finished your kit. Good morning, Kirsten. Thanks for jumping on. Now, there are some perks that come along with your kit subscription, and one of the best perks is that you will be getting a discount on the featured bundle. So each month, your kit will be focused on a bundle. It may be a stamp set and punch. It may be a stamp and die set, and you will need that to create the projects as designed, or you can use something that you have on hand to substitute. It's your choice. If you choose to add the featured bundle to your kit, I will provide it in your kit packet that comes to you, and I will offer it at a discount of almost 20% because I will cover the tax and the shipping on that bundle for you. So here in Ohio, with our tax rate, that will save you about 19%. And depending on where in the country you live, it could be more. Each kit will also include either a little treat or a small gift. And you know, I love including gifts in my kits. If you've gotten kits from me in the past from my monthly classes, you know that I love to tuck fun little goodies in there. And then to create your project, you will get a detailed PDF. So let me give you an idea of how that's going to look. So this is the tutorial for the July class that's going to feature the Frosted Forest bundle. You can see it's many pages. It's very detailed, much more detailed than in the past. There are lots of photos. There are some video links as needed. You will get a video with your subscription each month that will outline features of the kit as well as the bundle, with an overview of your projects and tips to creating your projects. And this will be a video that you can continue to go back and watch as needed to help you assemble your projects. Good morning, Janet. Welcome and thanks for hopping on. Now, as like the past, I will continue to offer a loyalty gift after 6 months of continuous enrollment, and this is for every 6 months. So if you are a loyal kit subscriber, I want to thank you, and I will do so with a gift every 6 months that will be a value of approximately $20, depending on what I include. It will be something consumable and something that you will use in your crafting and need on a regular basis. Now, your kit subscription will come to you monthly. Once you enroll, you will be subscribed and it will automatically bill you on the date you subscribe each month. However, you are able to cancel at any time. You are not obligated to continue to receive the kits for any length of time. And your kit will be $42 a month, and that includes your shipping. So there will be no additional shipping included. I will package it up however it will best come to you and get that in the mail so that you can enjoy your kit. Now, the monthly subscription will open up on the 21st of the month, and that's when I will preview what your feature bundle will be. You can choose to continue your subscription or to start a subscription, and you will have until the 20th to subscribe before your next kit enrolls. I'm sorry, I said the 20th. You will have until the 10th to subscribe, because at that point I will need to order your supplies so that I can get your kits shipped to you. But on the 20th, the current month will close, and then on the 21st, your new month will open. So I hope that this is exciting to you. It is definitely going to be bigger and better than it ever was. The projects are going to be stepped up. The insides are fancy. You will have supplies to decorate your envelopes. You will really enjoy the projects that you will get to make. Now, each month when I launch a new featured bundle, I will share the bonus project with you and create it, which is what we're going to do today. So let's move on to our tutorial. So your tutorial is going to come to you like this. You will have a sneak peek graphic of all the projects that are going to be featured that I will share with you at the beginning of each enrollment month so that you know what is coming and you can choose to continue to subscribe or not. Here is a sneak peek of the amazing projects that we're going to be creating with the Frosted Forest bundle. Now, this bundle is an online exclusive that is available right now in my online store, and it came out just here at the beginning of the month. It's beautiful. The dies are fabulous. Like many of the die sets, it can be very hard to see the versatility of the dies and stamps until you see them in action. And this is an extra special bundle because it comes with a set of masks These masks are really fun to play with. I had a lot of fun putting projects together with them. It's almost like 2 sets in one because you can make evergreen trees as well as this tree here, and they coordinate with your stamps. So you can use your masks with your stamps. You can use the masks by themselves, or you can use the stamps by themselves. And in the kit, you will have the opportunity to utilize the products in all the different ways that they can be created with. And I think that you're going to find it will really open up the creative possibilities that you will be able to carry on into your other projects. Now, here is a sneak peek of the bonus project that we're going to create. It's very cute. This is a trifold card, and here's a peek of the fancy inside. So all of your card projects are going to have special features on the inside of the project, and that's one thing that I'm really excited about for Creatively Inked. Now your kit will come to you. This is how this month's kit is going to be featured. You will have all of your project pre-cut and scored for you. Good morning, Patty. Welcome. Isn't that cute? I love this little flap card. I think this is really a really clever use of your dies. So all of your kits are going to come. Your pieces will be tucked inside your envelope. They will be die cut for you unless it's the featured bundle. You will not receive any die cut pieces that require the featured bundle because oftentimes there's stamping or other things done that you need to die cut, and it's just too difficult to provide those. So you will either need your featured bundle or something that you have on hand to substitute. If it's a die cut not part of the featured bundle, you will receive that. So you will have them in your kit like this. So here is your non-featured die cut. All of your pre-cut pieces, there's your punched pieces. Everything that needs to be embossed will be embossed for you, and then it will be inside your envelope. All you have to do is take your envelope, pull out your tutorial, and get ready to create. Then your kit will also come with about $20 in Stampin' Up! Products. And this month, we're going to feature this beautiful new Mercury vellum that is part of the online release. You will get half a pack. And this particular vellum comes with 3 different patterns. And you will receive a half a pack of each. And what's really cool about this vellum is one side is gold, but if you flip it over, it's kind of pearly, kind of white and silvery. And so we're going to use this in different ways throughout this month's projects. You will also receive a full pack of one of my favorite gems. These are the iridescent foil gems, and you will use these all over your projects, and you will have some extras to continue to create with. Thank you, Colleen. And then you will also receive a quarter of a pack of the gold and silver 1/8 inch ribbon combo. I love this. We've had this for a while. I use it a ton. And you will use both the silver and the gold on your projects. And you will even have some left to continue to create with after you complete your kit projects. Then along with that, like I'd mentioned, you will get your PDF. You will have your overview video with tips of assembling your projects. You will have 5 of your project kits, all pre-cut, scored with non-featured die cuts included. And if you choose to add your bundle, you will receive your bundle with your kit. So, what do you think? I'm really excited about this. So, let's do some creating. So, I'm going to show you how to create your bonus project. Now, this will be included in your tutorial, so your tutorial is actually going to feature at least 6 projects. Isn't that amazing? Now, what's wonderful about these tutorials is you can continue to use them long after you create your kit. You can go back to your tutorials, you can substitute different stamp sets, you can substitute different designer series papers, and you can really change up how your projects look by using the same tutorial. I agree, Patty. I absolutely love these gems as well. They are neutral and go with everything, and I love the little bit of sparkle that are inside of them. All right, so let's make our project. So make sure you dump out all your pieces. I have cut my ribbon, and here is the supply list that is from the tutorial that very neatly lists exactly what you need, if you need to score it, what you need to use with it, and it includes the amount of trim that you will need to create your project. Now the inks you will need to have on hand, and they will be listed in the supply list. For this particular card, we're going to use Old Olive and Mossy Meadow, as well as a little bit of Garden Green. And our project even has a little bit of heat embossing on there, which we're going to do together as well. So this card does a really nice job of featuring the different ways that you can use the dies, the dies, as well as the stamps and masks together. Now, I think this is the third mask set that we have now. The masks, the way Stampin' Up! Has coordinated these masks with the stamps and dies is just phenomenal. I mean, the images that you get are just really quite incredible. So we're going to start by working with this die cut piece. And I don't know if you can see it, but this will come with a score line on it. Hopefully you can see that score line. So the first thing we're going to do is take our card base, which has been pre-embossed for you, and we're going to fold it and burnish it really well. Now, a bone folder is an essential tool when you're creating, because I find that really burnishing your score lines well makes a really big difference in how your projects turn out, especially if you're working with fancy folds or 3D items. If you're doing fancy folds or 3D items, and I would consider this a fancy fold, you need a bone folder. I agree, Patty, this bundle really is amazing. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our little score line here, and we're going to fold this and then burnish this really well. So now we have our two pieces ready to go. So I'm going to set our card base aside, and we're going to start working on this piece here. So we are going to take our, you know what I did? I forgot blocks. Oh my, one moment. Let's hope that's the only thing I forgot to grab. All right, so we're going to take out our tree, and I'm going to use this smaller tree here first because we're going to stamp on our die cut label. And we are going to stamp in Mossy Meadow. So we're going to stamp some background stamping on our flap that is going to create our trifold. So let's ink this up. And I'm going to stagger these, and I'm going to have my big die cut tree kind of in the center. So you want to kind of position your stamped background trees a little bit to the edges. I scored this first to make it a little easier to see where that is for my positioning. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm going to kind of stamp this one a little higher here. And then this one will be over right towards that edge and down a little bit. So there's our background stamping. All right, so now we are going to take some adhesive on this side of our panel. We're going to adhere this die cut inside our card. Our inside panel will kind of hide it. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back. I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal. You could use a liquid glue if you wanted to. If you like to kind of have the ability to position your pieces, this might be kind of a fun way to do that for you. Now, What I liked to do is I slid this over the front of my card so that I knew it was up against there, and I kind of positioned it how I wanted it. And then I just kind of closed the card right on that die cut, because then I knew it was in a position that was going to allow my card front to close well, and it was centered on the front how I wanted it. So now when I open my card, it's right where I need it to be. Okay. So now I'll give that just a minute to dry. You can kind of put a block on there if you want to help that. And then while this is drying, we're going to move on to our next step. So let's take out our piece of soft seafoam. Let's do a little bit of masking. So these masks, like I had mentioned before, you almost get like 2 sets in here, because one is going to do your evergreen tree and one is going to do your other tree. So let me show these to you. So Patty said, I'm usually the one trying to tuck it behind the inside insert because you forget. I've done that before. So here are the masks to do your evergreen trees. There are 3 of them. You have 2 masks that kind of create the detail on the tree. And then you have a 3rd one that you can use to either create more color or snow on your tree. And this particular card, we're only going to use masks A and B. Now, how do I know they're A and B? So I don't know if it picks up very good on the camera, but right here there's a little notch. So if you see, all these notches line up. So you can put a piece of scrap paper down and you can trace this line and put your notch there so that you know exactly where to line up your masks if you need to. I eyeball my masks. I just put it over my image and you can usually tell exactly where it needs to go. So the evergreen trees, you have a large tree and a smaller tree for all 3 details. Now the other half of the masks, these are labeled 1, 2, 3. So you can see 1, 2, 3. And the notch is on the top instead of down here on the side. So you can see the evergreen, it's on the side, up here is on the top. So it really makes it easy to distinguish which masks go with which tree, aside from the fact that you can tell by looking at them. But it's just one more layer of help to keep you using the right products with the right products, if that makes sense. So this is going to be die cut, so I'm not going to worry too much about making sure that it's lined up and straight. But the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take a blending brush, and I have my blending brush that's for my greens. I don't have a blending brush for every single color. I use one for greens, one for blues, and so forth. So let's take a piece of scrap paper here and I'm going to put it underneath. And I primarily use this for cleaning my brush in between different colors. So now this color may not be the same as the other green that I'm going to pull onto my mask. So I'm just trying to pull some of this off. Now, a lot of times I like this ink on there. I don't wash my brushes because I feel like it gives me a more even look to my blending and it's less blotchy, but I'm also going to share another tip that's absolutely, it has made a huge difference in the blending. All right, so we're going to start by taking the A mask, so look for your letter A, and I'll try to position this so that you can kind of see what I mean by the notches. So I'm going to put my notch right down on my second from the bottom square here on my grid paper. If you use grid paper, it can be really helpful for these. Now, if you were lining this up, you could put a piece of repositionable tape or a Post-it note on here. and that would keep your paper straight and in one place, and then you could put your mask over the top and tape your mask down, and that would help keep your mask in place. I just hold my mask. It's personal preference how you like to work with masks. But now I'm going to take some old olive ink, and I'm going to apply a light layer of ink on this first layer of mask. So the way I like to use my masks, I dip my brush in there, and I'm using the new Glass Mat Studio, which is absolutely amazing for so many things. This is one of what I found has made a big difference in my masking. I put my brush on my glass mat, I kind of rub it in a circular motion, I push that ink into my brush and distribute it amongst my bristles, and then I blend, and I don't get any blotches. I get nice, even ink distribution throughout my image, and I think that it really does make a nice difference in your blending. So there's my old olive ink. So now I'm going to switch to my bee mask. So let's take this one off. And you can just rinse these underwater to clean them, or I just use my cloth that came with my Glass Mat Studio, and I just wipe it off. It comes right off, and then you're ready to go. Just set it aside to dry. Now I'm going to take my bee mask, so you look for your letter B and line it up over the top. And you can see when you set this down that you know what I was going to do just to help you out? I was going to put that notch down for you. So let's put this on there, and then I'm going to show you how you can help line this up. So I'm just going to trace this like that. So now you have your little notch. So when you bring your next mask in, so here's your bee mask, you can just put it right down on that notch, and you know that it's lined up perfectly, exactly how you need it on your cardstock. There, and I'll just put that on there just to hold it in place a little tiny bit. So now I'm going to take a second layer of ink and put it over the top. And for this layer, I'm going to use garden green. So you can clean off some of your old olive ink. Yes, your greens are going to mix a little bit, and it's okay. So now let's get our garden green ink and put a layer over the top of this. And then you can lift this up, and it's like that tree just comes to life. Isn't that amazing? Yes, the colored cardstock does look really nice. It just almost softens the color a little bit. It works really, really nice. And soft seafoam is a light enough green that it really blends with a lot of your greens that you're going to use to make your tree. So isn't that neat? So now, for some extra detail, we'll come in with our C mask. So here we go, lining up our notch. Now, this mask is kind of a bigger droplet of color, and it's really cool to use like a Versamark or a white craft ink, and you can add snow to your trees if you're doing a wintry scene. I'm going to use some Mossy Meadow ink and just add some extra color over the top. And I want this to be kind of light. So let me remove my green ink here. Isn't that nice to just wipe that off and it's gone? I just can't even tell you how much I absolutely love this glass mat. All right, so I've lined up my mask, and now I'm going to add my Mossy Meadow, and I'm just kind of going light with this. I don't want a lot of it. But now look at how amazing this tree looks. Isn't that so pretty? It almost makes it look 3D. It really is so pretty. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to keep our Mossy Meadow ink out, and this is what really blew my mind. I'm going to come back to my stamp set and get my large detailed tree. So you have 2 evergreen trees. I'm going to use this larger one, and watch how Stampin' Up! Has coordinated these colors. Let me set my mask aside so I don't get ink where I don't want it. So let's get rid of this. We don't need it anymore, I don't think. I'm going to ink this up with Mossy Meadow ink, and I'm going to come right over the top, which is going to be a little tricky. Hopefully I get this lined up. And look at that. The stamp coordinates perfectly with the masks. So now you have the ferning detail on the boughs of your tree, in addition to all that detail that those 3, excuse me, that those 3 layers of masks have added. Isn't that incredible? So now I will come in with my die, and there's a coordinating die that cuts out this tree. So you have outline dies, and then you have detailed dies that cut out detailed pieces, or you have your outline dies that cut out your stamped images. So this is a super cool die set. So let me quickly die cut this tree, and we'll assemble our card. So once we have our tree done, we will quickly be able to put our card together, because this is the final piece to finish it. All right, so here is the finished product. Isn't that awesome? I just love this. All right, so now let's bring in the rest of our pieces for our front of our card here. We are going to take our strip of designer series paper, and the dimensions are on your tutorial. You're welcome to use the gold side or the white side, and I think I'm going to use the white side. I'm going to add some adhesive to this, but this is vellum, and your adhesive can show through your vellum. So you need to be mindful of where you place it so that it's hidden behind something so that it doesn't show. So I just put mine down right where I know my tree will be covering this. And then I'm going to add my tree to the front, and I'm going to put it on with some dimensionals. There are so many options, Janet. This set, I think, is just really, really good. And if you've been around Stampin' Up! Products for a while, you know that we had a stamp set called Lovely as a Tree for so many years. And although this isn't the same tree as Lovely as a Tree necessarily, I think that the versatility of this bundle is incredible, and that I think you'll learn to love it as much as Lovely as a Tree. All right, so here is our tree now on our card. So it's really starting to come to life. All right, I have some ink up here. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so now we're going to stamp our sentiment on this little piece of Night of Navy. So when you heat emboss, you have 2 options. You can use a craft white ink pad, or you can use a Versamark ink pad. And I really like Versamark when I heat emboss. It tends to be my go-to, and that's what I'm going to use today, even though I am going to emboss in white embossing powder. But either one is just fine. So Joan says she just got this bundle and she's playing with it. Ooh, nice. Do you love it? All right, so I'm going to pull in my Embossing Editions kit. The Embossing Editions kit includes your tray, your embossing buddy, your little tool, and then there's an extra brush to brush away your excess powder, which I don't have here by my camera. However, I keep my embossing powder in these little containers, and I have these command, they're like command strip little clips that I keep this on, but I broke my white one. I need to replace it. So I'm just going to rub my embossing buddy on my Night of Navy cardstock. This is going to remove any static and make sure that your powder only sticks where you want it. So I'm just plugging in my heat tool here. So let me swap my plugs. And then I'm going to choose the thank you sentiment. So you have a thinking of you, birthday. I love this one. We're going to put this on the inside, and then you have the thank you here. So let's open this up and pull this out. Put it on the block and ink it up. And then once it's inked up, just add your embossing powder. And I like to blow on it to get all those little strays off. You could also use the brush that comes with the Embossing Additions kit. There's one little piece right there. And then you can heat this. This is a great little tool to hold your piece. And then I learned the hard way. I always put my lid on my powder before I get my gun out. Don't ask what happened or how I cleaned up the powder that blew everywhere. Yeah, it was kind of a mess. All right, so I'm going to turn this on. It'll be a little noisy. Oh, okay. Thanks, Colleen. Thank you so much for stopping in. So if you're interested in subscribing to my monthly kit, just comment kit here in this Facebook feed, and I will send the link off to you so that you can get subscribed. Oh, no. So you're having trouble getting your trees to blend, right? So are you using nice circular motions with your blending brush, Joan? That might help get in those little grooves. All right, so my gun is now nice and warm, so there it goes. So I'm just heating up this powder. You can see it changing from powdery to nice and smooth. So now that's done. So now we can add that to our card front. So let's bring our card front back in, and then we need our little piece of silver ribbon. So we're going to put some adhesive on the back of the Night of Navy. I had something on my adhesive here. We're going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of our Night of Navy strip. Now, I'm going to put my ribbon right down in that adhesive. So when you're applying ribbon to the back of a label or a sentiment piece, I like to use what I call a dry adhesive instead of a liquid. And the reason is, when you put this down on your ribbon, you want everything to immediately stick in place. And if you have liquid there, it's just going to slide around and you'll need to wait for your liquid glue to dry, and it can be a little bit messy. Then you can reposition your ribbon on the dry adhesive however you need to get it to look exactly how you want it. And once you're happy with it, you can trim your ends. So I'm just going to give myself some little trimmed edges here, and then we'll put some mini dimensionals on this and place it on our card front. So I'll put 2 little mini dimensionals on there. And then this will go right over our tree here. It's really pretty. Maybe I want that up just a little bit. There we go. All right. And then last but not least, we're going to add some gems to the front of our project. I have to find my open pack of gems. I think they got lost in the chaos. Here they are. And it doesn't matter how many you place. There's no right or wrong. More is always better, right? When it comes to bling. So let's see, I'll put one here, one down here. I think I like that. And then let's do one kind of up here. So there's our card front. Isn't that pretty? That tree is just amazing. Yes, Joan, practicing will help, and you'll kind of get the vibe of how to work with them a little bit. So now let's move to the inside of our project. So we're going to have fancy insides on our Creatively Inked kit cards. So for this particular card, we're going to first stamp our sentiment. And I love this sentiment. No beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart. Love, love, love that. So let's put our stamp on the block. And we're going to stamp this in Mossy Meadow ink. So let's take our Mossy Meadow ink out, and I'm going to stamp this kind of offset towards the top of my layer. And then we're going to dress it up just a little bit. So I have this really cute little blue heart here, and that's punched from the Bee Builder punch. If you look, let me show you the Bee Builder punch. Well, I don't know that it's... let's see if it's in the catalog, if it's shown well in the catalog. So I'm looking under punches. The bee punch is on page 75. Here is a picture of that little Bee Builder punch, and see that really cute little heart right there? That's a great size for adding all over to your projects. So I'm going to add a tiny little dot of Tombow adhesive here. And then I'm going to use my glue tip here, my little putty tip on my Take Your Pick tool, and drop that right down on that dot of glue. So now we can stick this down inside our card. I'm staying away from the edges because this layer won't go all the way to the edge. So let's just layer that on the inside. And now it covers up where you adhered that die, and see how nice that looks? So now let's layer our two remaining pieces together. So we're going to put some adhesive on the back of our vellum, and I'm going to put the white side up to match my front. And we're going to layer this right even with the bottom, so we have this little strip of Mossy Meadow accent showing. So I want to put my adhesive kind of where I have some of the metallic on my layer here, just a little bit. You don't need a lot. So remember, this is very lightweight paper, so you don't need a ton of adhesive to hold it in place, okay? Just a little dab will do ya. All right, so let's place this down, and then we will add this to the inside of our card to finish it off. And you can line this up right. I think I like it like that. Just up a little bit from the bottom, and there's the inside of our card. So what do you think? There's our bonus card. Isn't that fun and easy? Now you will receive this card in your Creatively Inked kit, and it will be all finished and ready for you to share with somebody. You will also receive the tutorial for it in your tutorial pack. And not only do you get the tutorial for this bonus card, but there's also an alternative to this bonus card in your tutorial. Thanks, Joan. Joan says, so pretty. Tammy loves it. Patty said, outstanding. Ooh, big heart from Janet. Thanks, everyone. Well, I hope you're as excited for Creatively Inked as I am. I'm going to get the link up. It's going to be a recurring subscription, and I'm working with PayPal to get it fixed. For some reason, my recurring subscription part's not working. But comment kit here in the feed of this video, and I will be sure to share the link with you so that you can get signed up for the first month's kit. And as an inaugural subscriber, I'm even going to include a special bonus for you, which is going to be a second tutorial showing alternative colorways to create your kit projects. Isn't that neat? So you will see even more cool ways to use your dies. Look at, they're kind of falling all over. To use your dies and your masks and stamp set. So any questions? I'll give you a minute to ask any questions that you have. Oh, thanks everyone. I know it takes a minute for things to pop up. Oh, thanks, Janet. Janet loves the idea. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an awesome week, and I will look forward to seeing you on Friday with even more fun creating together. All right. Bye, everybody.